So your Etsy shop has been suspended. It's a sickening feeling. It feels like it hits you right in the stomach. And look, I can really sympathize with you. I've seen my little sister absolutely crying her eyes out because her 100% handmade crochet Etsy shop has also been wrongfully suspended and wrongfully shut down by Etsy. So I've seen the tears, I've seen the pain, but I just wanted to make this video today to share with you guys that yes, okay, although we may have lost an Etsy shop, there are solid ways forward and there's solid steps forward that we can take together. So in today's video, I'm going to talk you through exactly what these steps can be. And I just want to let you know right at the start that your entrepreneurial journey is not finished. So if you're new here, my name's Alfie. I became a multi-six-figure Etsy seller in just 2 years, and I've also had some pretty good success with my other e-commerce brands. So let's start with the very first thing you should definitely do once your Etsy account gets suspended, and this is of course to understand and actually appeal the suspension. So I've done whole videos on this exact subject in the past on my YouTube channel, but I'm just gonna run through the basics again now. So if you've been temporarily suspended on Etsy, then you're just gonna go onto your dashboard and you're gonna get a big red banner along the top of your screen telling you exactly this. So of course, if we see this, we definitely wanna be appealing this. So we just wanna contact Etsy as soon as we can. So we can do this directly, or we can also go through the help and contact us section on our Etsy dashboard. However, if your actual account has been permanently suspended on Etsy, then of course, you won't even be able to log in to see this, which is very annoying, I know. So unfortunately then, you're just gonna have to send Etsy a direct email to this email address, which I'm gonna flag up on the screen now. I just wanna stress something really important to you guys now, okay? On Etsy, you only get one chance to file an appeal, right? And if the appeal is rejected, then that is literally it. So you wanna make sure that the appeal that you actually put forward to Etsy is as professional and it gives you the highest chance of actually having a successful appeal as possible. So this is a process I've actually been through myself previously in the past. So what I'm gonna do is just flash up on screen the exact email that I sent to Etsy myself personally, and feel free to just pause and copy it word for word if you like. Obviously just change it to your exact circumstance. And then I'm also gonna show you the response that I got from Etsy to actually say, yes, this was just a mistake. And they actually ended up just giving me my account back, which was sweet. But yeah, the first step in the process, if your account is suspended, is always 100% of your time to raise an appeal. And of course, the second option, which I'm gonna recommend to you guys now, is to actually try again on Etsy. So if you've had your account suspended for policy violations, and this could be anything like handmade policy or like IP strikes, anything like this, if you're in violation of very specific policies, and let's be honest, sometimes if we're in violation of a policy, we know ourselves that we are in violation of the policy. And if that applies to you, then just fix whatever it is that you know that you're doing wrong, okay? And just start again with a brand new store. If you own a print-on-demand store, for example, and you're selling t-shirts, right? And all of the t-shirts that you're selling have designs on them that are very clearly copyrighted. So could be anything from like movies or singers. Then I would strongly recommend fix that, move to doing your own designs rather than designs that are copyrighted, and start a brand new store on Etsy. Now, there is a caveat with this. If your account has been suspended, of course, you will not be allowed to open a new store with any of the same details that you've used for the previous account that got suspended, okay? So this is where I would definitely recommend to you, start a new store, but use a friend or family's details. So you can start a new store on Etsy as long as all the major details aren't the same as the store that's previously been shut down. So this is stuff like the email address, the banking details, the actual location details of the business setup. Make sure that all of the key details are different between the accounts. And now I just want to cover something as well. A lot of people, they're worried and say that, but can't they track like through the IP address and then they'll just shut my account down anyway? Well, from all the research I've done, and certainly from people I've worked with in the past that have done this exact same thing, my answer would be no, they can't track this through IP addresses because, people share laptops all the time, right? If they were to just shut accounts down through IP addresses, you could literally have like different accounts on the same laptop and still just be immediately shut down because somebody who used it before on the same IP as you may have been previously suspended on Etsy, you know? So to me, and from certainly all of the reading and looking at forums that I've seen online, that isn't the case. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But also with your old account, you might well have just got unlucky, you know? Etsy might have just flagged something up that they might not flag up again in the future. It might have just been a really bad coincidental suspension which wasn't valid, and so I think it's definitely worth it. Make a new account and just try again. However, if you're just completely done with Etsy and you just don't want anything to do with their platform again, then that's absolutely fine as well. We do have other options going forward, and this is where I would look at now selling on some alternate selling platforms such as Amazon Handmade, eBay, and then you know you got your social media selling platforms as well nowadays. So this can be like TikTok shop or Instagram shop. So there's many positives and negatives, of course, for selling on these different selling platforms, but they do all share one major positive, which Etsy shared as well. And this is that they actually already have customers and an audience base on the platform already. So they're all very similar in that all you really have to do is just put your products on there, market them well, and then because people are actually already on the platform, ready to actually click on and buy your items if they see it flag up on the platform. And then of course, another option you can do, and this is probably gonna be one of the more solid options on this list, and this is to actually go completely off on your own and build your own website. So look, there's many, many advantages to having your own website, but there are also some disadvantages. So it's something I've done before. I've built my own websites. I've done my own marketing on like Facebook, Instagram to bring in my own traffic. And you know, I just want to say, like, you really can have good success. However, one of the major negatives is that it does require a hell of a lot more work, because obviously, you know, when you build a website, you could have your SEO absolutely perfect. You could have the best products, but literally just the way that the Google search engine works, for example, you are simply not gonna get organic traffic with a brand new website at all. And certainly not in the first year or even the first few years. Like, it's just the way the algorithm works, and it's just not gonna happen. So one of the only ways that you can really get traffic in to your website is you're gonna have to do some external marketing yourself using socials. And more often than not, you're probably gonna have to pay, especially at the beginning, for this traffic. Whereas when you think of the other selling platforms, such as, you know, your Etsy or Amazon, for example, there's a massive array of shoppers already on those platforms. So all you need to do is just list products, and then they will find your products and come to you, rather than you building a website and having to put your products then in front of the right audience, and then hoping they will then like your product and click through to your website. But yeah, websites can be put together pretty easy nowadays. You can just hop on the Shopify. That's the platform that I've always personally used. The templates are there. I mean, if I can create a website from scratch and I'm not very skilled in graphic design at all, I promise you, then I'm sure after watching a few YouTube videos that you definitely can. So yeah, build your own website. I think that's a solid option. But moving on to another option now, and this is to leverage local markets and craft fairs. And now this is gonna apply to more if you're selling actual physical products. And this is exactly what my sister, who I mentioned at the start of the video, this is exactly what she's done with her crochet business. So it's actually worked out really good for her as well, because now she's actually having some days where she's making like a couple of £100 in just one craft fair, just selling crochet, which is something that she wasn't achieving before on Etsy. And there is also a lot of other benefits to doing it this way as well. I mean, of course, you do actually have to like leave the house, you know, and actually like set up a stall and chat to people all day, which I know in today's world, not everybody's happy doing. But of course, a major positive is that you don't have to be there individually packaging every order as if you would on Etsy. You don't have to then run the order out to a post office and send it off to customers. So, you know, there is also some positives, but like I said, there is also some negatives. But if you were fed up with Etsy and you're annoyed your account was suspended, then this is another solid option to move forward and start growing the business again. And then another step I want to give you going forward, if your business has previously been suspended, and this is to maintain a positive mindset, right? So I'm telling you now, 99% of being a successful entrepreneur isn't in what you're doing here or what you're typing into the keyboard, right? It's up here. Keep going, I promise you. The only difference between the entrepreneurs that make it and become successful and that you see on like Instagram, driving around in like nice cars and, you know, not working a 9 to 5, traveling all over the world, the only difference between them and the entrepreneurs that don't make it and just have businesses and give up is exactly that. They give up. And the entrepreneurs that make it, they don't give up. Every single entrepreneur or anybody that's made money, right, has had to have overcome massive challenges in the way and massive pain and loss in both business and in life. And they've just kept going. And I just want to say, don't worry too much about the suspension. I know that you are worried. I know you probably think it's the end of the world, but I promise you, this is just one more hurdle and one more obstacle that's put in the way that you need to overcome. You will never become an amazing entrepreneur and live the life that you want to live outside of 9 to 5 if you don't overcome these obstacles. It's not easy. If it was, then nobody would be working a 9 to 5 job and everybody would be, say, living in the Philippines, making loads of money off their laptop every day. It's not easy. Overcome these hurdles. They're put in your path for a reason. You should be grateful for them. It's giving you the opportunity to overcome them and become better. So yeah, keep going. You're gonna smash it. We're here together every step of the way. All the best. I'll catch you on the next one.